Beebe. You need a license or permit to drive a car, serve alcohol, be a hairdresser, hunt and fish, and get married. Yet people can be responsible for caring for a child without any sort of licensing or test. Everyone here in the room has heard of a terrible story or know of a child that has been abused or neglected. The Minnesota Department of Human Services should license expectant parents before they have their child. First, I will discuss the problem with having unfit parents raise children, and lastly, I'll discuss the solution to this problem. Let's begin by looking at how unfit parents raising a child affects their life. Having unfit parents raise a child can lead to or cause child abuse and neglect. There are many factors that can lead to the likelihood of harm. In the book, Parenting A to Z, written in 1996 by Irene Frank and David Brownstone, who are both experts in parenting, states that child abuse can occur in all racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic households, but physical abuse and neglect are especially common among families living in poverty. The breakdown of the family, emotionally unstable adults, and corporal punishment are also other factors that can lead to the likelihood of harm. This was found in the book Child Abuse, written by Henry Kim, who is a well-known author in the year 2000. Some examples of the breakdown of the family would include single-parent homes and homes where both the father and mother are present. An emotionally unstable adult would be an adult with anxiety or depression. And lastly, spanking or hitting your child is a form of corporal punishment. The last factor that can lead to the likelihood of harm is having uneducated parents raise children. If parents do not know the proper parenting techniques on how to raise a child, lots of things could go wrong. In the journal Evaluating Parenting Classes Held at a Secondary School, published in 2007 by Lucinda Orchard, who is a professor at Brigham Young University, states that parenting classes and lessons give parents the confidence they need to competently raise their children. In the article Child Abuse and Neglect, Recognizing, Preventing, and Reporting Child Abuse, published in 2013 by Melinda Smith and Jean Siegel, who both have their master's degree in psychology and are both editors at helpguide.org, state that there are behavioral, psychological, and physical effects on a child that has been abused. Some examples of these effects include aggression, fetal alcohol syndrome, attachment disorder, ADHD, broken bones, and bruises. In the 2007 report, Child Maltreatment Fatality, by Ju Young Chang, who is an Associate Commissioner of the Children's Bureau, states that 5 children die per day as a result of child abuse and neglect. A total of 1,520 children died in the year 2013 alone. This is an astonishing fact. As you can see, having unfit parents raise their children is damaging to the child, and no child is immune to being a victim of child abuse and neglect. Now that you know the problem of having unfit parents raise children, I will now discuss the solution. The Minnesota Department of Human Services should license expectant parents before they have their child. Parents will go through parenting classes and have a social worker come and do home visits every year. In the book Child Abuse, printed in 2006 by Lucinda Almond, who is a New York Times bestseller author, stated that Project Baby Care, which is a parental training program's curriculum, included hands-on experiences and traditional learning components of reading, writing, and watching films. So at the end of the class, the parents will demonstrate the skills they have learned on a fake baby and pass a final written test. Next, a social worker from the Minnesota Department of Human Services will come to their home every year and do a home visit. In the report, Revitalizing the Role of Home Visiting by School Social Workers, published in 2004 by Susan Allen and Elizabeth Tracy, who are both professors in social work, state that during a home visit, social workers will observe the child's environment. This will help them better understand the family needs and how to meet those needs. Licensing parents is a feasible plan. This plan can happen. There are already parenting aides and life skill workers working with parents today. They are working with them if there is a risk present. We would need more funding from the state to hire more types of these workers. Foster care parents have to go through licensing procedures and take parenting classes in order to parent foster kids. If we license expectant parents before they have their child, there will be less kids in the foster care system, and it will also lower the amount of child abuse and neglect. Society will find this to be a sensible plan because it lowers the amount of child abuse and neglect. Society will support this plan if they want a better future for their children. The benefits of implementing this plan is having a safer future and environment for our children to grow up in. In conclusion, The Minnesota Department of Human Services should license expectant parents before they have their child. You have now heard my solution to make sure that there are no unfit parents raising children today in our society. If one should need a license or permit to do recreational activities, a parent should need one to raise their child.